Before I begin with our topic, I would like to tell you a little bit about Malaysia. Malaysia has entered such a stage that the ASEAN has now attained a certain degree of activeness on the world stage. At the same time, the ASEAN member states still retain much of their respective power as sovereign entities in the international arena. It locates Malaysia in the broad category of international studies by focusing on how foreign policy and policy making operate in the context of international relations, particularly in foreign policy cooperation. So, debates take place with regards to the existence of Malaysian foreign policy at the ASEAN level, believing that foreign policy is always firmly controlled at the hand of the national governments. This research focuses around the topic, which is Malaysian bilateral relations with other countries. So based on the understanding of Malaysian foreign policy system, comprising of Malaysian community, this research takes a broadened view of foreign policy, which extends beyond traditional foreign policy sphere of high politics. Malaysian foreign policy has been evolving followed by different prime ministers. Therefore, its effect on national foreign policy cover a wide range of issues and matters, including bilateral relations with other countries. The purpose of this research is to study the bilateral relationships of Malaysia with its neighboring country, Indonesia, and also United States. The nature of this topic dictates the use of exploratory and comparative analysis in understanding the economic importance of Malaysia bilateral relations with Indonesia and US. Relevantly, most extensive and enduring opportunity have allowed Malaysia to strengthen its bilateral relationships with these two countries and implement its foreign policy to have a better engagement with them. Besides, this paper also determines the impact of bilateral relations between Malaysia, Indonesia, and Malaysia, US. As such, both Malaysia and Indonesia have ethnic and cultural affinities. They carry the same concept and similarities in tradition, culture, and language, as well as religion. So, this familiarity with each other's cultural values become a foreign policy tool to facilitate closer relationship among the peoples of these both countries. Furthermore, Malaysia has become one of the fastest growing economic country in the world after the 2008 global financial crisis. So, Malaysia is an important trading partner for US, while US is more important to Malaysia in economic relations. Malaysia and US engage closely on trade and investment, which import agriculture products the most from Malaysia and boost its economy.
Most of independent countries interact with the environment beyond its borders through foreign policy. Foreign policy is a strategy or approach chosen by the national government to achieve its relations with external entities. It is also agreed that foreign policy as a plan of action adopted by a nation in regards to its diplomatic dealing with other countries. This leads to the definition of bilateral relations, which means conduct of political, economic, or cultural relations between two sovereign states. Any states that use the concept of bilateralism has their own perspective on choosing whether free trade agreements (FTA) or foreign direct investment (FDI) as their decision to be applied on the interaction through bilateral relation in international world. Today, we will study bilateral relations of Malaysia, US, and Malaysia, Indonesia. Let us study.
Now, let's talk about the economic importance of Malaysia bilateral relations with United States. The economic importance of bilateral relations is for better trading activities in Malaysia and United States. According to US Department of State in 2020, among the top US exports to Malaysia are machinery, aircraft, agriculture goods, plastic, optical and medical instruments. Malaysia's top US imports include machinery, optical and medical equipment, rubber, agriculture product, bedding and furniture. Next, bilateral relations give an opportunity to Malaysia to invest in United States. US goods imports from Malaysia total 39.4 billion in 2018, up 5.3% from 2017 and up 28% from 2008. US imports from Malaysia account for 1.5% of overall US imports in 2018. Thirdly, bilateral relation has been a platform for alternative industry to be developed. United States companies have contributed a lot to the development of Malaysian economy. One of the aspects are by the tourism. Malaysia welcomed a whopping 13.35 million foreign visitors and posted a 6.8 rise in tourism receipt, thereby adding 41.69 billion to the country's revenue in the first half of 2019. United States was among the top 5 countries with the highest expenditure per capita. Finally, with bilateral relations, Malaysians have the opportunity to become an investment partner with a developed country like US. The US and Malaysia are major partners in trade and investment. Malaysia was the 24th largest US export market in 2016 and the 14th largest US import supplier. Thank you.
As people know that Malaysia has a good bilateral relation with Indonesia, as it gives a better chance for Malaysian people and Malaysian companies to invest in Indonesia. For example, multi-billion-dollar companies like CIMB, Maybank, Petronas, as well as Tabung Haji just invested in Indonesia's biggest market since a decade ago, according to an article of Republic of Indonesia. Since then, both countries had agreement to pursue sub-regional economic cooperation to develop free trade as well as cross-border economic zones. Tourism is an alternative industry. Malaysia and Indonesia to the government to involve and develop their local economy. In 2020, according to the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture of Malaysia, the government has launched 2 new policies involving 2 big projects known as National Tourism Policy and National Culture Policy. Since trading activity has become major industry in Malaysia and Indonesia, and both countries are located at strategic seas area, a lot of foreign policy has been created in order to create a better environment for the traders.
General Adnan Abu Bakar 2013 emphasized that bilateral relation of Malaysia-United States has sparkles on defense mission without community acknowledgement. Malaysia and United States show cooperation through some actions, such as when Malaysia regularly joint training with United States counterparts, while United States happily access to Malaysian airports and airfield. This give and return relationship strengthen the connection until there once more in then 75 United States military ships visits and the world's largest nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, USS Ronald Reagan, is on its first goodwill visit to Malaysia at Port Klang. The cooperation between 2 countries started well and going to be more committed, especially in aspects of defense such as terrorism and conflicts. The bilateral relation could not be complete without foreign policy used by both countries when interact with one another. As long as Malaysia and United States relationship are well and free of conflicts, it shows the effective foreign policy has successfully implemented by these 2 independent countries by intelligent political actors, whom the one acts on behalf of the country to fulfill their responsibility truthfully for community and state needs.
Impact of Malaysia-Indonesia relation. Firstly, it strengthened the cooperation between Malaysia and Indonesia. As Malaysia-Indonesia foreign policy has strengthened, it certainly will give positive impact as it strengthens the cooperation and alignment between Malaysia and Indonesia. According to James Arnold on his article of Program and Policy Used by Malaysia, we know that both countries are developing countries, and both governments use their own foreign policy to ensure the sustainability of economical prospects. Moreover, it gives impact on people's life. Since 1980, the government had launched the public sector economic policy that gives much benefit towards the public sector and international places. We know that Malaysia and Indonesia has a good bilateral relation, so that it will be so useful for people's life. Then it also affected the social and political matter. It created a better understanding for Malaysia and Indonesia.
Now I will share about our group analysis. Bilateral relations benefits both countries mostly in economic aspect. Having a good foreign policy helps our country to enhance our bilateral relation with other countries more effectively and safely. Without having a clear and proper foreign policy, we could end up with trouble while having a bilateral relationship with foreign countries. So, a perfect foreign policy is very important for us to create a bilateral relation with other countries, which can increase our economic growth as well.
So, based on the clear explanation and deep illustration of the bilateral relations and economic importance between Malaysia and Indonesia, as well as United States, both countries are enjoying a significant trade relationship with Malaysia, and they have become increasingly important in the international system. As we can see, ASEAN has become a suitable regional organization that can help Malaysia to improve its bilateral relations with Indonesia. It has helped Malaysia and Indonesia to settle disputes and their bilateral relations through systematism of mutual identities and interests. Additionally, US is a country which has a strong relationship with Malaysia in terms of trade and investment. Malaysia is committed to keep on working with global trade for mutual benefits, in the sense that US has become one of the largest foreign investors in Malaysia, which tend to increase its economic trade activities and bring mutual benefits. That's all from our group. We hope that our presentation will help you to understand more and develop a knowledge of Malaysian bilateral relations with other countries. Thank you.